Hello everybody. So I found an article on the internet, and this is really gonna piss you off. I mean, seriously piss you off. It's by Amanda Marcotte, who is an internet blogger, feminist. In other words, she has no talent, but she makes money out of The Guardian by making bullshit articles on feminism. So that's basically what it is in a nutshell. Anyway, the title of the article she did for warstory.com is a definitive list of the weirdest people on the internet. Now, guess what got number one? Just guess. It's gonna really piss you off, this. Anti-male circumcision obsessives. That is what is number one on her list. That is just... Feminism is about equality. Anyway, this is what she writes. No, not people who are simply opposed to circumcising babies. I'm talking about people who act like removing a foreskin is one of the greatest human rights abuses of all time. On level, not just with the much more serious female circumcision. Well, I like the way she puts it, a female circumcision, not female mutilation, which it is. But also with slavery and the Holocaust, a bit of exaggeration there, and who tend to use the word mutilated to describe it. It is mutilation, that's exactly what it is. Most of them are misogynist. Yes, they must be misogynist. Like, it can't be just that they don't want it to be mutilated as a young boy without permission. Whose eagerness to construct an edifice of male oppression has completely overwhelmed any concern that the wilderness is permanently destroying any ability to have a reasonable discussion about the pros and cons of circumcision. No, because all the pros are lies. And even if there were pros, even if there were health benefits to having circumcision, it does not overrule the fact that you are hacking off a piece of skin, which isn't just a piece of skin, but is something that is needed for pleasure, and was only revived in the Victorian times to stop boys from masturbating. It is to restrict boys and men's sexuality. Same reasons as female circumcision. Because of the combination of gender weirdness, sexual obsessions, and bad faith and lack of proportion, they get a number one spot. Yes, that must be number one, yes, because that is the worst thing ever. That's the worst thing on the fucking internet. People who don't want their foreskin being hacked off. Now, let's just return to the whole pro-con thing, presuming there are pros. There are many things that we can just hack off. We can hack off women's breasts. We can hack off. I believe there's some circumcision of women. Because female mutilation isn't just completely remove the entire thing. There is degrees of circumcision of females. So I just did a Google search for the benefits of circumcision. Now, I'm not saying this is correct for females, but I'm just saying the secretions of labia minora accumulate in uncircumcised women and turn rancid, so they develop an unpleasant odor which may lead to infections of the vagina or urethra. I've seen many cases of sickness caused by the lack of circumcision. Okay, I'm not saying that's true. I'm not saying it's true, but my point is simple. You cannot just go and use a bullshit study to say circumcision of males is perfectly okay, and then say, well, you know what, a female circumcision, oh, that's completely different, because it's not. Both are contested, and why? And under Article 7 of the human rights, men and women have to have the same protections, and therefore circumcision is illegal by human rights. It's just not enforced, and that's why MRAs are a thing. Because we are actually after rights. Hell, it's not even after rights. It's just trying to enforce rights so that they are applied to both men and women. That's what the MRAs are for. And it's bitches like this woman who are trying to hold that up because they are offended when men say my body is worth just as much as your body. And that is what circumcision and the objection to calling it male genital mutilation is all about. Well, it's also down to religious, political correctness and stuff like that. But the reason why it offends feminists and the reason why they don't want to look into it, even though say in Africa where they mutilate, say, females, the reason they often justify it and saying, well, the West does it to boys, so we can. Why can't we do it to girls? Whereas they look at it and think there's a sort of hypocrisy. I'll link below. It's a very interesting chapter. I'll link below. So there is an interest for women in order um, to legalize male genital mutilation, but they do not go with it. And the reason why is because they're offended when men say, you know what, my sexuality, my body is worth the same as yours. And when you say that to a woman, that it offends them. It offends them and it scares them, and they want to put you back in their place. This is not what. This is not a crazy person's opinion here. This is just the reality of the situation. And this is why she calls those people misogynists. It's absolutely absurd, completely absurd. So I just thought I'd ruin your night. So thanks for that. Have a good day or night.